Good morning and welcome, Patriot News Hour. Joe and Jason, happy Friday. Wow. It is a beautiful day here in the Valley of the Sun. I've got a date, I do, with a golf course later this afternoon. But, guys, we've got a ton, and I mean a ton of news to talk about. First, our toll-free number, 800-951-0592. Write it down, 800-951-0592. If you've never ordered gold before, you're going to want to do it today. Just telling you. One of the best gold specials of all time is coming in the next 10 minutes. Unfortunately, I've sold a bunch of it, and I haven't even gotten it on the air. It is going to be very, very limited, so be prepared. Having said that, before we get into a lot of big news, we had GDP, we had the Fed's favorite inflation gauge, we had the Supreme Court striking down the Trump tariffs, and so we've got a ton of things to go over. But before we do that, I do want to update everybody with Texit Coin. As you guys have been made well aware, we've got the lawyers of lawyers, Quinn Emanuel. The law firm is handling this. They have sent a letter to the Texas board, and they have a meeting in another 25 minutes. Now, does that mean this thing is going to be put to bed? I don't know. But let's just say this. It's a very, very, very good sign of things to come. And then some of you may have noticed the mine payout yesterday was extremely low. No worries. We will have a huge coin day today. The mine was actually operating just fine. They're doing some work in the pools. Kind of technical. I don't know everything about it, but the mine was producing the blocks. It just wasn't showing up where it needed to, and it's been that problem's been remedied. They're working on something, trying to make the mine even more efficient. So it'll be a big coin day. Crappy coin day yesterday, big coin day today. It'll average out to where they have been over the last few days. But let's just get right to it. I mean, I don't even know where to start, because I was like, okay, well, we'll talk about fourth quarter GDP. Came in much lower than expected, 1.4%. They were expecting double that number. And again, the way they've done GDP, it's been screwed up for a long time, because the first and fourth quarters always seem to be really low. The second and third quarters seem to be really high. But I guess at the end of the day, if you average it all out, then I guess that's what you come up with. But according to all the data now, 2.2 was GDP growth for the year. Got to remember that first quarter we had a negative number in the first quarter, then two big numbers, right? Gosh, I think one of the quarters, I think we got over 4%. But once you flatten it all out, 2.2% GDP growth. And Jason, as you know, that will not work. That will not work with the amount of money they need to print. So think about this 2.4% number that came. I'm sorry, 2.2%. Jason, they're going to have to try double that number, right? At a minimum, right? We're going to need to see GDP near 4% to even have any chance of this working.
Yeah, it's always working if you're the one making the rules. So it doesn't really matter what the rate is. But, yeah, as far as their goals or aims inside of this fraudulent system, yes, this more GDP, more inflation, that they want to push forward. And but I mean, low GDP. I mean, that gives them the excuse to lower rates, right? I mean, that works for that.
Well, so it's funny because that's exactly how that news first came. But immediately after that, the Fed's favorite inflation gauge, the PCE, came out much hotter than expected, up to a 3% annual rate. So when you look at, okay, if we only did 2-point-something GDP and the Fed's inflation gauge favorite number is 3%, that math doesn't work either. But it did come in much hotter than expected. But however, that did not stop Donald Trump. Lower interest rates, too late. Powell is the worst. So, Jason, the Trump administration is going to be very clear, guys. This is why we keep telling you, you need to get your gold and silver put away. Please do it now. You don't want to wait. These guys are going to open up the floodgates. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you some motivation when we get back. Maybe the best special that we've run, maybe of all time. You know what? It's one of those close to one of the all-time greats. How's that? That's coming up next. We'll be back. 800-951-0592. Here we go. Listen, we don't have very many. I know I've been telling you to run to the phone all week, but you need to run to the phone. But before I do it, because I'm just going to tease you here. The Dow's up 100 points. Yeah, with crappy news. That's how it's going to work. The S&P up 32. The Nasdaq's up 200. The 10-year note is up. Of course it's up. Because why? Well, inflation's hotter than expected. And the president is saying, too late, Powell. If you just would have cut the rates, GDP would have been better. Gold's up 58 right now, 5,055. Silver is up over $3.50, over $82 to the ounce right now. But here's the special. Mint State, 64 cents. I had 50 of them. I now have 33. Do not have any more. I have 33. They are the exact same price as a regular $20 Saint or $20 Liberty today. $5,295. You've got spot at $5,055. I mean, Jason, it doesn't get any better than that.
You said MS64?
64. Yeah, not 61, not 62, not 64.
I've always liked the graded coins when you can get them on a special price or a sale price. Right. I don't like to buy graded coins. I'd rather just stick with raw. But anytime you can get the graded coins for the same price or even better, especially a 64, it's just the best way to buy these coins. I'm not somebody. This being I don't know if it's which of the two companies, PCGS or NGC. I don't really care who the grading company is. The one that they don't like. I like that. I like that company. What is that? The one that went out of style there.
Oh, ICG.
ICG. I like ICG. One of the reasons I like graded coins is even if the grade that's given on the coin is questionable, I should have this sent in to be regraded. That doesn't matter when you're buying gold and silver for the metal, because what you are getting is a third party. If you ever have to sell this to anybody but Patriot, you're going to sell these coins, they can't say, well, I don't know, man, this looks like it could be a fake. I'm going to have to knock off a couple of $100 off of what I pay because I'm taking such a huge risk on your raw $20 Liberty, right? Or $20. Is these St. Gaudens, Joe? These St. Gaudens?
Yeah, these are $20 St. Gaudens.
And they can't do that. They can't do that because a third party, an expert grading service, took a look at it. And even if the grade is wrong, if this is a 65 or if it's a 62, they are saying that this is a 1 ounce gold coin, 0.9675 ounces of gold inside the holder, and you can you know right away that the guy that's buying it from you is full of it because they can't tell you nothing about it being a fake. So one reason that some of our customers only buy these is because of the resale part of that. So I like raw too. I'll buy raw coins all the time, but you can get a graded coin, especially like a 64. What is the highest grade on a St. Gaudens? 68, Joe? I mean,
oh gosh,
68 the highest.
Maybe there's a 68 in a Saint. I think a 67 in a Lib.
Yeah, so you can't get a perfect 70. Perfect is 70. So 64, you're sitting in some of the highest graded coins of this kind,
and not paying. And like Jason said, not paying the premium. There is no premium, zero premium, and these are all PCGS and NGC. And Jason said, listen, there's several grading services out there, but these are the two that people say are the best of the best, right? And so this is what it is. There's no doubt to what you are holding. Absolutely incredible opportunity. They come encapsulated. They come in these hard plastic cases, so you know they don't want you to damage it, right? And so you can flip them around. You can see the coin entirely. The only difference is, the raw coins, they're in your hand and there's no protection. These ones are encapsulated in these hard cases. Like Jason said, there's no question to what it is that you own, and they are on an incredible opportunity here. I'll tell you what I'll do. You know what? Because I'm in a good mood. It's Friday. I'm going to play golf a little later today. If you buy 5 or more, I'll take $10 a coin off. $10 a coin off. That would mean if you bought 5 or more, you're actually buying them for less than our circulated Saints today at 800-951-0592. Remember, I only had 33. That's all there is. I won't be able to get any more of them, and I know somebody is going to be disappointed, but it's the best we can do. Check all day so far. Right now, the phone lines are empty, so we'll see how this goes. Earlier today, the Trump administration got dealt some bad news from the Supreme Court. In a 6-3 decision, 170 pages. Wow. No wonder why it took so long. The court ruled that Trump's use of the 1977 International Emergency Economic Powers Act, so that's what the Trump administration used to put on the tariffs. They say that is not lawful. So essentially the Supreme Court strikes that down. The ruling, they're saying, brought by, one of the people, Costco. They sued. There were several companies that sued on the grounds that the sanctions, authorized sanctions, and during a national emergency did not grant the executive branch the power to levy taxes on imports. Apparently, the Supreme Court agreed with them. So, Jason, I guess we'll have to find out what happens next here. The Trump administration, are they going to issue refunds? I don't know what that would look like. I think that would be very, very bad. I do know that the Trump administration is looking at other legal options as an example using different acts. Section 122 of the 1974 Trade Act, which allows for a 15% temporary tariff for 150 days. I don't know, Jason, this looks like it's going to get uglier as this goes, but the Supreme Court going against the Trump administration, Trump calling this ruling a disgrace, and told governors I guess the governors were at the White House today, that he's got a backup plan. Did not give any details, so I don't know what the backup plan is.
War? Isn't that always the backup plan? I mean, think about how this administration is working as we are moving towards, I think, some sort of a economic collapse of some sort of a major magnitude, which I think is next year or 2028. You have 2025, he gets to tariff everybody, and he's trying to move the economic pieces by tariffing. Now this year, all the stuff that got passed last year, like the taxes thing and the big beautiful bill thing and then the infrastructure thing, all that stuff gets rolled into 2026. So if you don't have your tariffs, if the Supreme Court is right on their ruling, I don't know. I mean, everything's so rigged anyways, but if the Supreme Court is correct in their ruling, then now you don't have the tariff power in the way that Trump was yielding it, but it won't matter because he's got $5 trillion almost it's $4.7 trillion in new money flooding into the country this year. He's got the Fed guys going to lower rates and talk about how we have to have 3.5%, which equals 8 to 10% inflation every month, every year. And everything, it seems like it's all seemed to be timed out nice and easy for those that are the haves can take away from those that are have-nots, because when this thing crashes, and gold and everything is going to go down in price. When this thing happens, all the assets are going to go down, and then the cream is going to rise to the top. Gold and silver, solid assets, are going to do much better than your stock market. Even your property is going to suffer way more. But, Joe, you know who's going to be buying everything when it goes down. We know who's going to buy it all. And so, yeah, it seems... I don't think Trump. I think Trump's. He's got a few cards up his sleeve. He's been given his marching orders. He has Plan A, Plan B, Plan C, and Plan D, and probably Plan E, F, and G. I'm sure they have plenty of things they can go to. Took away my tariffs. I got a war up my sleeve. Here you go. I'll stir up some economic activity.
I do want to give some good news. By the way, the Dow gave up all of its gains here, so we'll keep watching.
They don't get their tariffs anymore. They're sad.
Gold's still up $55 right now. The one good thing is we didn't collect $1 trillion in tariffs, as Donald Trump likes to say. But this would be $250 billion that would be tacked on, right? If the government has to pay this back. It was already a high deficit. Now the problem is 2025 is over, so this would get into 2026. I mean, we would probably shatter the record by a large margin if they have to pay all this money back.
So I'm hearing this right. So they tariffed whatever entities, countries, and essentially, is that what I'm hearing, that they have to pay it back?
That would be what they would have to do.
In lower rate interest bonds, probably, right? Right? They collect the money on the front end. Well, you have to pay it back now. That was wrong. Well, here you go. Please spend these dollars. Here they are. I know that we lowered the rates a bunch, but at least we're paying you back. Go spend. We need more of this out there. I mean, that's a win-win situation for the Fed and for the government.
I don't think they're going to pay it back. How's that?
Why not?
Figure
why
out
not
a
just,
way
just
not to.
The Fed just gives them
That'd be great, right? Sure.
The Fed gets to put more money out there.
If the economy's bad enough,
yeah,
right?
You want more dollars out there in the foreign markets? Just pay them all back in dollars. Yeah, I think.
Who do they pay back? Do they give the money to Costco, to Walmart? Right?
I don't know.
That would be. I don't know.
My guess is they give it to the foreign nations that were tariffed on the way in, and then they have to deal with the local businesses.
Well, but they didn't pay. The importer paid it, right? The people who the people that bought the product had to pay. How would that even work?
It's got to go to the nations that sent this stuff, and then the corporations operating inside there.
Yeah, but what about the people that got charged on their Amazon? You got to pay a tariff on your this T-shirt or whatever. Well, I don't know.
Everybody else will get rewarded with higher prices.
Right? Man.
I think that's the way it's supposed to work.
It's not a good thing, guys. I had said it all along. I figured it probably wasn't really legal, right? The authority, the way he did it with the executive order wasn't going to fly. But I was saying, I just hope the Supreme Court just says, okay, yeah, but it'll be a disaster, so let's just say it's okay. They did not. I don't know why. I guess we'll have to wait for the backup to the backup, like Jason said. What plan is it now? A, B, C, D? Are we at EFG? I don't know. Patriot Radio News Hour.
Sir. Yes, ma'am.
800-951-0592. And again, the sale of a lifetime today, Mint State 64 St. Gaudens. The same price as a regular St. Gaudens. $5,295 if you buy 5 or more. Just 5. $10 less. $5,285. By the way, the deal keeps getting better. Gold is now up $68.
The Silver Eagles are here. Anybody waiting for Silver Eagles, I just got them in, so I'll be calling you after the show, and you can get all the rest of you guys in.
Colorado Silver Eagles are in. I think Phoenix, ours are coming today. We'll make a big move in catching up here. By the way, so speaking of silver, $82.25 now, almost up $4 on silver.
I want to say something about silver because when we've been watching this going up at 2025, Joe, remember we blew past 40, then we blew past 50. I was thinking it was going to go to say it went to 55 and stopped. Remember that? It went to 55 and stopped. And then after it kind of held there, it went to 71 and stopped. And then that's when it went late last year from 71 during the holidays and went all the way into January, all the way to $115, $120. It feels very similar, doesn't it, Joe, that we had this big pullback. Silver's been sitting in this high 70s, low 80s for the last month or so. Not even month, just a couple of weeks. It sure has the feel that it's kind of reloaded the gun and it's ready to go back into battle right now. That's what it feels like.
We've laid out the path perfectly. Gold's up 72 now, 5,000.
Here it is, another big Friday day, which always seems to follow with a big Monday update, and then it just keeps pushing. So what is it going to be on Monday? Anytime we see these Fridays, big up days on especially silver on Friday, the Monday comes in and bang, off it goes.
Silver's up $4, 82.40. U.S. Silver Eagles today, right? They just I don't know. I don't have the right price sheet, so I'm going to have to look online because I know it's right online. So let me see. Where are we? I know we're back over $2,000 just because premiums on Silver Eagles, as you guys know, $2,035. Again, the best deal in silver are dimes and quarters. You know what's so funny? I think the Monday, was it Monday or Tuesday? We had dimes at $290. Then they went to $300. Now they're at $310, right? Rolls of silver quarters at $620. Those are, when you're like, hey, what's my best price point? That is it. Silver rounds, $1,820 a roll now on silver rounds. 1 ounce silver bars, you want just an ounce, $100. $100 for a 1 ounce silver bar. But again, the deal and it is the deal. Don't let it pass you by. You're not going to get deals like this. Mint State, 64 cents. 50. I don't mean to laugh. It's just funny, right? I mean, 52.95, 5 or more, 52.85, and you got gold at 5,070. And Jason, I'm not going to be surprised if we got gold back above $5,200 come Monday, because that's what these patterns are. China starts getting back to work next week after the lunar holiday, and we've been kind of expecting this setup.
Yeah, well, maybe some of them are getting back to work a little early for the weekend.
Maybe.
I mean, because this is a pretty good push on silver. This is not 2011 where silver takes a big hit and stays down. This is not 1980 where the Hunt brothers were trying to push that silver market to new levels, and then the Fed and the COMEX came in and shut them down. This is not the same situation. You have, after decades of J.P. Morgan Chase being short on silver, now they're going long on silver. J.P. Morgan Chase Bank went short on silver because they made lots of money going short on silver for all those years. They knew that they couldn't handle that situation. No matter how big they are, there's still a lot of other entities, and silver had to be pushed. Silver, it's an incredible thing. Back in 2020, when the COVID emergency and all commodities hit all-time record highs, all of them except for silver. And silver would not hit its all-time high and not hit its all-time high. And then finally last year, silver broke its all-time high. And then it just went. And, by the way, J.P. Morgan Chase decided to go long on silver. After it broke its all-time high, after it's the only commodity that wouldn't go to its all-time high, now you got big entities that are buying hand over fist and going along on it. That means it has to go up. Big entities don't lose money. That's why they're big entities. And when they go long on silver, you need to pay attention. And Joe, as much as we'd like to say our buying and selling drives the market a little bit, not very much so. It's the big entities.
Yeah, it's the big guys, for sure, absolutely. And I expect more of the same. It does bear to mention here, the Ford Carrier Group has entered the Mediterranean now, the biggest U.S. buildup going back to 2003. And, everyone's anticipating some sort of strike on Iran. Obviously, that just makes it, I guess, a little closer, Jason.
How many days left do we have on the 10 days?
Right. I forget.
We got a clock going
he
here.
He hasn't tacoed the 10 days yet. I know that.
Get that last 3-pointer at the bell or the buzzer, right? I mean, when is that? That's next week, I think, sometime. So.
Yeah, sometime next week. He put him on a 10-dayer. So
I'd have to think that he's not going to want to do this on the news week Friday. He's going to want to do it like in the middle of the week when everybody can sit there and talk about it all week. So maybe Monday.
He's a little different animal, right? Normally they like to do it like Friday after the markets are closed. So by the time Monday rolls around.
Well, it depends on if they want you to see it or not. This is something like the Venezuela attack. It did happen over the weekend, but it was going right into Monday, so everybody could talk about it. So, yeah, I mean, the Super Bowl is over, so I guess, 2/22 is coming up. That's on Sunday. There's a lot of stuff that starts on 2/22. Maybe they're going to blow up Iran on Sunday, and then we can start talking about it on Monday, Joe. So there you go. Maybe that's...
There you go.
2/22 is upon us.
Not this 2/22, man. 800-951.
It's when the Ukraine war started. They say the Ukraine war started on the 24th, but Russia was already in the country well before that. 2 days before, they were already invading. It was on 2/22 when it started.
If you just joined us, GDP came in way below expectations. Inflation came in way hotter than expected. The Supreme Court has ruled the tariffs unconstitutional. And you know what? That wasn't even all the news. That was just some of it. We'll be back after the break. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour. The phone line's just cleared here, but we are running out of the deal of this is one of the all-time great deals, seriously. And we've had a lot of great ones. There's no doubt about it. But Mint State 64 St. Gaudens, PCGS and NGC graded. As Jason said, like, the best St. Gaudens out there is a 68, and there's, like, I don't know, one or two of those. There's some 67s out there, but really, I mean, 64. I mean, Mint State 65, they consider that to be gem quality. So, I mean, you're way, way up the scale here. When you think about it, we sell circulated $20 gold pieces, Saints and Liberties. And you got XF, VF, AU, BU, CU, Mint State 60, 61, 62, 63. Finally, you get to Mint State 64, and not only do you not pay a premium, but if you buy 5 or more, you're going to buy it for less than a circulated 20. So 1 through 4, $5,295, 5 or more, $5,285 at 800-951-0592. As again, we had flash PMI. That came in much weaker than expected. Both the service sector came in the low. God, I think the service sector, it came in the lowest in almost a year. Manufacturing, the lowest in 7 months. This one could be weather, right? January was, I think, when was the bad weather? Wait, that was February, wasn't it? Yeah. Maybe this is a February number. Okay, this is a February number. So this one I could at least see here, Jason. Maybe some of that bad weather had an effect on these numbers, but they were much lower than expected.
Yeah, they had that ice and stuff going on for a little while. we in Colorado we're having a massive lack of snow and cold weather, so it's hard to even know that it's really even winter except for a few cold days. But it did affect you. I remember there was people that had trouble driving out of Texas because all the roads were iced over. So I remember all that. So yeah, that, I guess, right? Whatever excuse to make to make it seem better. There's always an excuse.
I don't know. We're watching this. We had such a terrible existing homes number. It was bad. New homes, however, they only fell 1.7% in December. So that was actually a lot better than what existing home sales did, because November they were up like 15%. So the fallback, but that's kind of how these new home sales go: up a month, down a month, up a month, down a month. But overall, end of the year, 745,000. And that's the best number since going back to the COVID shutdown. So at least, and again, we all know why, right? The new home builders, they can give you a lower rate, right? They can do more things, right? They can lower the rate, they can eat some closing costs, but
and some of the big builders have their own financing, like Lennar.
Oh, yeah,
Lennar has their own
right?
financing. Suddenly they're giving you a rate that nobody can give you just to desperately get houses out of their stock, right?
Yeah, that is true too, right? The inventory,
different interest rates. We're moving into that, aren't we, Joe? Where there's going to be different rates for different people for different reasons. Are you middle class? You must have the highest rate. Are you somebody that can't afford a home? We'll give you a lower rate, even though your credit stinks. And by the way, if you're super, super rich, we got to make sure you get almost no interest rates that you have to pay, because we got to keep you as wealthy as possible. So yeah. Talk about another thing that's going to kill the middle class. You have good credit? Here's your 8% loan. Nobody should give you a home. Well, let's just put you in 3%. There you go. We know that you're gonna get repossessed. We'll be able to sell your house again.
Yeah, this is going to be.
That's something else I saw yesterday, Joe.
Insane what's coming with what with the new Fed governor and the Treasury. Jason, you're not far off.
I saw repossessions on cars and homes for 2025 is equal to the peak of the housing crash. Like right now. I saw the numbers. Maybe I'll put. I saw it on Economic Ninja yesterday. He was showing it. And he's like, why aren't we having blood in the streets? Why isn't there all this crazy news about how horrible everything is? And he was showing it. They repossessed more cars in 2025 than they did at the peak of the housing crash in 2025. Now, there's more people, but it's not that many more people. That's a tremendous – we're living in an economic crash. The news just doesn't want to sell it that way until they're ready. Isn't it crazy? We're probably in an emergency, but because the news – isn't selling it that way because the timing isn't right, they'll wait until they need to tell us everything is wrong. And then they'll have a market, maybe the market dumps 5,000 points in a day or something and everybody screams and hollers and goes crazy. But the numbers are showing that people are suffering on the same levels as the 2008 housing crash show. It's happening now. But nobody wants to talk about it because I guess the news doesn't want it yet. They want to wait till, I guess, next year.
One of the things that came out again today that kind of backs that up, savings rate fell to a 4-year low today. So that does kind of play into what Jason was talking about. And yes, car repossessions are way up. It's before people kept the car and they took the home. Now it's, I'm going to try to keep the home but take the car, I guess, type of a thing going on, at least for right now. But the savings is run dry. Not a good sign for what's coming up. But don't worry, they're going to print a lot of money. Final segment coming up. Final segment here on the Patriot Radio News Hour. And again, the Mid-State 64 St. Gaudens special, $52.95, 5 or more, $52.85. Or, you know what? You guys can buy circulated Saints. They're great looking. They're awesome. They're $52.95. Right? Or you can go up, I don't even know, like 12 grades and get it encapsulated and graded by PCGS or NGC for the same price or even a little less today at 800-951-0592. And Jason and I are watching this very powerful setup here. We kind of, listen, we told you this, what was it, Tuesday? Because Monday was President's Day. Remember, Tuesday was all down. I mean, silver was back down like to $72, and gold was like $4,800, and I was screaming at you guys to buy it. And this is what's going to happen, and then wait till next week. And, of course, now the big Friday rallies, we've seen this over and over and over again. You get the big Friday rally, and then usually on Monday, we get the follow-through on that rally. Do not be shocked at all to see, gold $5,200. Don't be shocked to see silver approaching $90. Yeah, you heard me right. Right now it's $82.37, up $3.95. But all indications are next week gold and silver are going to start and again, it's already started, right? Obviously, silver got down to $72. It's now 82 and change, right? I mean, that's a huge move in 4 days. Gold was $4,800. Now it's almost $5,100. That's a huge move. But Jason, I think we're going to get back into this all-time high rally mode as, again, everybody struggling to sell debt. We've talked about U.S. debt a lot this week, Japanese debt. Today, the ECB, we need more liquidity, right? Everybody has the same issue. Everybody wants to print more money. And I think the path is pretty clear here. They want Jay Powell out of the way as fast as possible. Dramatic cuts in rates, some type of accord where they try to cap high-yield interest rates by massive quantitative easing and massive bank buying of treasuries, and then hope it's enough, right, Jason? Hope that somehow GDP can pull out some magical number.
And on top of that, you only reported, I think, yesterday, but I mean, there's some banks looking like they're going to fall apart. Like we did the Blue Owl thing. That might be a little bigger thing.
In trouble.
We just
Blue Owls. It is a big thing. Listen, the personal credit market is in very shaky ground, and we know
i.e. taking people's cars back, i.e. taking people's houses back.
Exactly.
Right.
Whether that's business loans, right? Personal loans, whatever it may be, it is not in really good shape here. So, what's the push? I don't know. We'll see.
Repossessing cars is not the most profitable thing. You got to find someone to sell the repossessed car to.
Right.
Who's buying cars?
You can do that, you're okay. But
who's buying the cars?
800-951-0592.